Hi everybody, and welcome to episode 34 of Being Youthful, the vlog. I'm Kim Beigler. I'm the owner of Ewethful Fiber Farm and Mill, and I'm here in Halsey, Oregon, sitting in the mill. So for those of you new, I own a wool mill here. So I make yarn for a living, and mainly I try to make yarns from locally grown wools and fibers here in Oregon or close by. So very nice natural yarns. And we also are grass seed farmers. My husband and his family farm grass seed, which is a big commodity here where we are in Oregon. And we also have a flock of fiber animals. So we stay really busy, and I try to share that with all of you here on the vlog. So we'll go all over the place. We'll have videos from each spot. And thanks so much for joining me. And we're just jumping right in. No intro this time. We're just gonna try this and see what you guys think. So welcome. It's spring. And things are springing here. It's getting a little crazier. The grass seed farm stuff has picked up as Mitch and his dad are fertilizing, and I've got some videos. They're fertilizing, planting, laying out irrigation lines. It's just getting real, which means that that time change happens, and suddenly like it's 7 o'clock and I'm like, oh, I should probably go in and think about doing some other things. It always is an adjustment. So I'm trying to find the balance always. You guys, your comments on the ripping versus leaving things, if you made mistakes last time, it was so fun to hear. Thank you all that commented. I do really enjoy when you guys leave comments, ask questions, all that stuff. So it seemed like the majority of people leave mistakes if they can tolerate them and they're not going to mess up a pattern. And then maybe they don't point them out to everybody like me. So anyway, thank you for commenting. We'll have a giveaway, of course, at the end or at some point in this, whenever I remember the giveaway, we'll have one. So all else is pretty good here. Before I forget, the next shop day is going to be Saturday, April 23rd. So a little bit a ways, and I think I'm going to have 2 in May. So 2 chances to catch me in May. And also, I should say that I am planning on being at Black Sheep Gathering as a vendor. That's in June. That's probably the only show I'm doing this year. So if you want to come out and say hi, that's a great place to do it. Or you can always come to the mill, of course. Okay, Ewethful Farm update. So for the first time ever, we actually had a sheep outside of our property. And I looked out the window. Cash gave me a warning, and I didn't even notice. Cash is our dog. And then a couple of minutes later, I'm not sure how long it was, I look out the front, and here's one of my sheep, one of my lambs from last year, Moira Rose, of course. She's standing at the end of our driveway, literally on the line of the road, and a car's coming. And luckily the car honked and she ran the right way, and she was very good. She's the one lamb I can't just walk up and handle. So it was amazing that I opened the gate, she came running in, all was good. The thing about sheep for the most part is they get out and then they're panicked because they're not with their flock. I think she just spooked out, like she was doing something, maybe had her head stuck under the fence, something happened, and she just ran forward. And then usually they're like, ah, literally screaming at the top of their lungs because of course the flock was already out of her sight. So anyway, all ended well, and I was like, okay, it's time to move you guys to your spring pasture. So I have a little video of that in the farm tour, so you can see them happily moving to their greener pasture. That's about it. We had a 69-degree day, which means that our pigs, Frankie and Johnny, are getting a little bit closer to pool time. So we're going to track down. I think Mitch was going to make them a nice little wallow area, but we may have to get like a temporary pool. We'll see how this goes. But pigs cool themselves in mud, so you have to kind of have some sort of a situation that they can get into to cool themselves off in warmer weather. So that should be a spectacle with those two. And other than that, June is doing well. She's doing pretty well. Doing well this week. She's the Shetland pony. Enjoying some sunshine. We have a bazillion eggs, so many eggs. I mean, just eggs. I think one day we got 17 or 18 eggs, so many eggs. And we have my little egg station set up in the front of our property now, so people can just roll through and grab eggs. And I'll put a picture here so you can see Mitch's divine, what he made. It's awesome. It's so awesome. We've got a little fridge there now, so I don't have to be carting stuff out back and forth. I can just put the sign out, sell some eggs, because our eggs are delicious, man. If you have not had farm fresh eggs, Go track them down because they're so good. So that's what's going on the farm. I think we're going to stop here. We'll go say hi to everybody because we got a lot of other stuff to cover here. And be back in just a minute. Okay guys, so sometimes my sheep are turds, and luckily I was home today taking kind of a down day at home, and Cash gave me a little notice, and then it was probably a few minutes before I put it together. I looked out in front of my house and there was Moira Rose standing at the end of my driveway, basically in the road. Luckily, I bolted out the door as a car was honking at her. And she is not a sheep I can touch really, but she was freaked out and came running into the property, which is fantastic. I mean, if she had been hit, it would be like hitting not a very big dog. I mean, but it would be traumatic for everybody, right? So anyway, I'm about to move them because I locked them in the bottom pasture, and Mitch just fertilized their pasture. So we're like, okay, they're done up top. I think she probably spooked her way out, but anyway, I'm going to let you watch me move them, and it's either going to be they behave or they don't. Let's find out, huh? I've got the gate open to their pasture, the new pasture, and I'm just going to swing this gate in, and hopefully they will follow. And a lot of times they know where they're going. There it is. That's what we like to see. Easy peasy, girls and boys. So that was easier than I even could have hoped. Sometimes they, I'm noticing it looks like I might have lost a chicken, but we won't focus on that right now. I'll look into that after I stop recording. But you can see the fog is coming in today, and it's a nice little evening, and they're very happy. You can see how nice and fresh and green that is. All right, guys, see you in a minute. Hi everyone, farm tour time. And you can see it is really beautiful out. I'm wearing just a little sweatshirt and long sleeve shirt. So I'm gonna flip you. We're going down just in the middle of the day. I'm getting ready to go to the mill for a little bit. You can see the sheepies. I think I'm going to feed them, which I'm absolutely not, because you can see they have that beautiful green grass. And they should be a little more quiet, in theory. We'll see. It's really, I think it's about 60 degrees. Last I heard, the boys were sleeping, the pigs, so we'll see. Some people were over and they went to see them, and they had to go inside the barn, and they said the boys stood up, snorted, and then fell asleep. So we'll see. Kind of warm-ish for them, getting close to pool time for them. So I think they're in the stall, in the shade. There's Big Roo, making sure we're behaving. And you'll note that this is pretty quiet for the sheep. They've got plenty of food. They know they're not getting fed. Of course, the hens still think. We'll see if anyone wants to come up and say hi. I don't love to disturb them too much when they're being so quiet. But you guys just gonna stay up there? They're all trying to stay cool because it's warm, and even with the wool does help insulate them and keep them cool, just as it does help keep them warm. So they just kind of lay low when it gets warm. We're still probably another month from shearing, but you'll see, even when it was almost 70, they were out still in the sun, just basking, taking it in, even though they've got those wool coats on. Those three are like, you're not here to feed us. So we'll go check in and see what everybody else is doing. You gonna come say hi? That's Patrick peeking around. He's like, it's kind of warm, Mom. I'm good. I'm good. No go, huh? All right. We'll move on. Stay chill, dude. It's like shockingly quiet this time of day compared to when they know they're gonna get food. So we'll peek in. There's Alma. Junebug. We're gonna come say hi. Everybody's just in the shade. Oh, I know. Khaleesi is... Hi, Junebug. How are you? Did you say hi? She's covered in bedding, per the usual. Doesn't matter how much I brush her. She's always covered in bedding. There's Lakshmi. The sheep are all keeping an eye. Alma, you want to come say hi? I know you always like to say hi. She's like, nah, I'm pretty relaxed today too. All right. Here's her beautiful face. Hello, Alma Llama. Hello, Alma Llama. I don't have any food for you. No food. You can see how filthy they all are. There's Scuttlebug. All right, guys. We're going to wander on. I think the boys are sleeping, but we're going to begin. So fast. So passed out. Oh, boys. Okay. Sorry, guys. This is kind of a chill tour because everybody's so sleepy. We're gonna go in and see if we can find any eggs. Just let the boys sleep. Holy cow, I need a basket. So, might be it. Yes, just the 4 eggs, so I think I can manage. And then, maybe I can't. I guess that's it. Nah, get out of here. So, I'll be back in a minute, guys. Okay, guys, I pulled our eggs. I think that's it. It's such a chill day. And honestly, when you have this many animals and they're all being so chill and sleepy, you don't want to disrupt them. So, especially when they're all just kind of getting used to the weather change and some actual warm sun. So we're gonna call it a little bit of a shorter day here and head into work. All right, see you in a minute. Okay, guys, I just couldn't leave the last video the way it was, the last farm tour, so going back out and we'll see how much livelier everybody is. I think it's been about 5 hours since I was last down with you guys, so let's see. And the sheep are going to try to convince me to give them hay, and I'm going to stay strong. As Mitch and I talked about when we're giving them hay, he's not doing it at night, so we'll see. So we'll see if they're louder. They actually shouldn't be. They have so much fresh spring grass that but we'll see. I'm a sucker. They know it. Okay. So far, so quiet. I like it. And the boys should be primed and pumped for dinner. The boys basically wait up until they get their evening dinner, and then they instantly go back to sleep. Like how you saw them earlier. The clouds are pretty fun tonight. That's looking to the west, obviously. Sun's getting ready to set. And it's about 7 o'clock, I think. You can see how calm compared to some of the other videos you've seen with this crew. So maybe they're going to behave and not scream bloody murder at me because they aren't getting anything. They don't get kibble or anything at night. So everybody's very chill. I'm sure they're appreciating that the weather's cooling off. And as soon as the boys get wind they will go screaming, and we'll come back and say hi to them. We may get quite a show from the boys, unless they're still sleeping. I get very excited when it's dinner time. Let's go see where they are without falling. There's my boys. That's a little more lively. What's going on, Johnny? Where's your brother? Oh, there he is. Here they are. Everybody wanted to see your face. They said, we can't have a farm tour without these faces. Huh, Johnny, John, and Frankie, Frank. All right, guys. I gotta go feed Miss Junebug, and then we'll come feed you. You can probably hear them. Oh, they're gonna be pretty quiet, so we're just gonna run in and plop June's food down, and then we'll go back over and feed them. And I won't keep you on too long. And apparently we're gonna be kicking the alpaca out. June's ready. Hey, baby girl. Hey, baby girl. All the people love to see you. Come on, let's put your food over here. You're safe. So we're just gonna put her food down, if she'll let me get there. And we're gonna probably tie up Cuttlebug, because see, everybody's pretty chill. He's gonna act like, what are you doing? That's his. I wouldn't dare come over there and eat her food. Huh, Cuttlebug? All right, let's go feed the boys. Okay, so the boys are eating. That's for my dad. Because whenever they eat, I think, oh man, my dad spent a lot of years telling us to close our mouths, and that is the sound. So anyway, I don't eat like this. But man, do they eat like pigs. So they're gonna take 8 hours to eat, and in the meantime, I'm gonna fill up their waters, which I have a feeling they dumped throughout the day, and go pull the rest of the eggs. And I'll see if the sheep want to come say hi to us. We'll see if anybody wants to show their beautiful face. All right, I'll go see if anyone else wants to show off for you guys. If not, as usual, Frankie's gonna take it out. It takes about 20 seconds for me to get him on his belly. He had dinner, and now he's done it. His brother was hamming it up too, but all right, guys, see you in a minute. Say goodnight, Frankie. Okay, we're back and moving on. And before I forget, I've already worn this before. I didn't even think I was gonna have to wear it today, but this is the Sheltered Poncho by Andrea Mowry. And I will stand up and show you. I think the last time I wore it, maybe, I don't remember, but there it is. See how I have another sweater underneath this? It's just ridiculous. And this also has a hood to it. So anyway, it was a great pattern. And this is knit in Brooklyn tweed, I believe. It's before I had a wool mill, I knit this. So there's that. Okay. And the sweater underneath I did not knit. I wear just commercially made sweaters that are inexpensive when I'm here at the mill, because I am covered in fiber by the end of the day, or grease, or just whatever gets on me, and I don't want to wear my hand knits here a lot. I wear a lot of cowls here, but as far as sweaters and things like that, I don't wear quite as much of them at work. So, okay. Grass Seed Farm update. Grass Seed Farm update. Sorry, you guys, I have to do that little jig because my husband enjoys it, right? So if I can bring a little, lift this up just a little bit, bring a little extra smile to his face, dang it, I'll try. Okay, so like I mentioned, the farm is getting more busy, and I have a little video here because I managed to time it out. I went and walked the dogs and came back, and everybody was out on the farm fertilizing. So I've got a fun video of that, but basically fertilizing is happening. They are planting a lot of new fields this year, and irrigation lines are starting to come out. They won't be used yet, but you've got to pull them all out, and we're irrigating a lot more than we usually do. So they've all got to be set up on the fields and ready to go for when it is time. And these days you just don't know. It could rain into June here or not. And it has to be a good amount of rain to not have to irrigate the stuff we're irrigating. So anyway, the guys are busy. They are busy. And I thought I would talk a little bit just for a second about wheat, because I've had quite a few people say, you guys, are you gonna grow wheat? Because if you've been watching kind of what's happening, in Ukraine, don't know how, anyway, they are a big exporter of grains, big. And so if they can't get their crop out, then there will be a shortage of grains for the world, right? And so wheat is one of those grains. And we do grow wheat here, and people have been asking, are you guys gonna plant more wheat? So we are not gonna plant more wheat. The main reason being wheat is not as easy to grow here where we are in Oregon. We're in a very wet part of Oregon, and we do grow wheat. We actually grow a soft white wheat. And like 95% of the world's soft white wheat comes from this area. And it can tolerate wet a little bit better than a lot of the wheats can, I think. Okay, you guys, just again, I'm telling you some farm knowledge. Don't Google me on it, don't quote me on it. Take 50% of it to be true. Just kidding. I'm not trying, it's just that I am not the farmer. I'm the farmer's wife, and I don't mean that in a negative way, because the farmer's wives play a huge role in the farm. But I don't know as much about the details. So anyway, we grow soft white wheat. We generally grow wheat in between grass. So if we're trying to clear a field of grass and the weeds that come with grass, we will plant wheat. And generally we'll do it for like 2 years, and then we replant grass seed. The reason being, we grow grass seed amazingly well here in literally in the county we are in, and there's a good price on it. Whereas wheat, we generally don't get a good price, or as good of a price. What's happening now with the wheat supply is obviously going to cause prices to go up, but that's not something we could predict or necessarily plan ahead for. And here in Oregon, if we were trying to plant the different types of wheat that they are planting in Ukraine, we would be battling a lot more disease and things like that, that it's easier for the wheat to get here. So long and short of it is, we won't be planting more wheat, but we do plant wheat, and that's really it. I just thought I would give, because it's like the grass seed. There's all different varieties. There's different varieties of wheat. There's different varieties of grass. There's different varieties of tomatoes, everything. And here we're growing it for the seeds particularly. So anyway, I just thought I would jump in there because I have had people ask, and there's probably more farming information than you wanted to know, and most likely more than I know. But thank you for listening. And hopefully Ukraine farmers will be able to farm their product and get it the heck out of their country and make the money that they desperately need and get that product out. So hoping for them. Okay, the video is pretty quick, but I'll show you. It's Wade out on the fertilizer buggy. So he's filling the buggy, and then he takes off and he does a little quick trip so we can see how it works. And I do talk at one point about the field he's in is an annual ryegrass field, so a different variety of grass from what I show you is across the way from it, which is a bent grass. And I say the bent grass it's a lot shorter. Like when the bent grass is full growth, it's where the annual ryegrass is now. And the annual ryegrass will sprout up, and I'll show you guys later in the season, to be 4, 5, 6 feet tall. It's tall. The annual ryegrass is used for, so the bent grass is generally used for golf courses, tees, greens, and different parts on a golf course. The annual ryegrass has this completely different purpose, and it generally, its 3 main uses are erosion control, a seasonal pasture crop, so animals can roll through and eat it, and also a cover crop. So instead of actually planting into a fresh field, a lot of people get the seed and they are kind of tossing it over the fields instead of burrowing it in, and it's a cover crop in that sense. So I think that's what that is. Again, I'll let you know in the notes if I'm wrong. So anyway, again, just showing you there's such a diverse amount of different seeds and grasses and all the things that we do here on the farm. So I'm gonna stop talking so much and I'm gonna let you go see a video, and I'll be back in just a minute. Hey guys, we're out here. I timed this amazing. I just walked the dogs, and I think you can see that fertilizer is getting dumped into the back of the buggy. So it's in this truck over here to the right. And Wade's there. He's real excited, I'm sure. That's my father-in-law to be on camera again. So he just filled up the buggy with fertilizer. And now he's gonna go drive around and spread fertilizer. You can see how green it is out here. Yahoo to rain and sun in Oregon. And I'll get a video of him driving away here in just a minute. He's not gonna make much effort, I don't think, to be on camera. All right, guys, I cut the filming for all the behind the scenes action, which means Wade, I don't think, wants to be on camera a lot. So he's gonna go out and he's gonna get some fertilizer going for us. Hopefully we'll be able to see it. And I can't go too far out because I don't have, see if I can get in a little bit. There we go. Fertilizer is expensive, so we don't want to be just like you can see. There you go. And he'll just drive and drive and drive and drive. Pull back a little so you can see how tall the grass is now. Hold on, we're gonna take a quick shot. There's Elsie Mae in the car. And I'll show you, since we're here, you can see how tall this grass is. It's got a couple, it's probably close to a foot. And then if we come over here, this is bent, right? Yep. Yeah. You can see how short this grass is. And you'll probably hear me talk about this grass coming up because so this is super short in comparison, and this is bank grass, so this is the grass that gets used in a lot of golf courses. What's over here, babe? This is annual ryegrass, so it has a different purpose. So there you go, fertilizing. And Mitch will take the trucks, he goes back and forth and gets those filled, brings them to Wade. There we go, party happening. All right, guys. Okay, are you ready to finally talk about wool? I mean, the animals in the beginning, that was wool. Anyway, stuff that I'm working on. Okay, yeah, I had to think for a minute. I'm like, am I working on anything? So, I really thought I was gonna have these done, but I don't. So, that's the way it goes. They will be done by the next one. And so here's my socks, you guys. I am literally probably 1/4 of an inch from my toe, because I got big feet. They're just stunning. And you guys, I think I might be becoming a sock knitter. I think I might. This 2 at a time, game changer for me. I'm doing 2 needles 2 at a time, not magic loop. It just ended up working out. I liked it better. You don't make as much progress as quickly, but when I am done, I'm done. And that's not something that happens very often when I'm only knitting 1 sock at a time. So this is our Prineville yarn, which I'm going to talk about more, of course. But look at how, I mean, the lace work looks beautiful, the colors, it's just so pretty. And you can see it's got that little bit of mohair to it. So next time, you guys, those are gonna be done. I've been doing a ton of spinning too. I don't know why, it's just what's been going on. I don't even have my next knitting project. You guys, I have those socks on and the shawl from 2 years ago. So we're gonna have to get serious. But, so here is, so this is some Shetland wool, not my Shetlands, but I don't have this color. So I bought a bunch of it at a festival a couple of years ago actually from somebody who I buy some of my Shetland animals from. So anyway, it's beautiful. It's a natural brown. I'm on the second bobbin, just flying along. So I think I'm gonna add this. I have a bunch of other Shetland stuff I've spun up. It's kind of all in a DK weight. I have a white and a gray, so I might try to find something I can play with those 3 colors with. I'm really wanting to do another vest. So maybe I'll do a vest. I don't know. Okay, my other wheel is going with this. So this, you guys, I've had this in the shop and I haven't put it up online because I just wasn't thrilled with how it carded out. But you can see the yarn is so pretty and it is softer than so it's BFL, Blue Face Leicester. Natural gray, Blue Face Leicester. You don't get that very often. And super soft. Okay, so I'm gonna put it up online for you guys now. I honestly didn't because I was like, eh. And then I finally thought the other day, you know what? I'm spinning like crazy. I'm just gonna take some of this home and spin it. It still spins up beautifully. It spins up beautifully, but, so here's kind of a bump. There's a little bit of VM and you're gonna have to pick a little bit more. And it might not be perfect. You might have a little bit of a texture to it. You can not pick too and definitely have texture, but it is so beautiful. And I have it priced well because there is a little bit of just pilling and other issues in it. So I think I have like 3 more of these. So I'm gonna put them up. I would get one. Like I said, I didn't put it up. I think I carded it probably 6 months ago and I just had it sitting because I just wasn't happy with it. But once I spun it, I was like, okay, this really should become yarn. So, especially because it's just not something you get very often. Okay, what else have I been doing? Sorry, my papers are backwards. It's really throwing me off. Oops, bobbing down. I think we're gonna do a little bit of wool talk here, or more specifically mohair talk, because we're gonna talk about Prineville more and the sock yarn. So I thought, let's just stop for a second and talk about mohair. And in the Prineville yarn, I have used the mohair in place of what most sock yarns would have nylon. Number one reason being, we grow mohair really well here, and it's a great replacement for nylon. It's a great natural replacement for nylon. So, reasons that it's a great replacement. It's very strong, which is what you need in the sock yarn, right? That's why you add nylon to what I see most of the time is a merino base. So it's long, which means it's gonna twist up, it's gonna be nice and sturdy in there, it shouldn't pill, and it's also got the added benefit of having a beautiful luster, so it adds a little bit of luster, it takes the dye well, it adds a little shine to the yarn, and it adds some softness to the yarn. And if you're using this yarn for something else, which you most definitely can, it will add a nice extra layer of drape to the yarn. So I'm just gonna show you some examples of mohair in case you've never seen it, and I'll put a picture or 2 up here. I think I've put pictures of these guys up before, but I get all my mohair right now from one farm, and I'm very spoiled by her. She knows what I want now. She goes through, she finds it, she ships it to me. It's already clean. Duh, amazing, because mohair can felt up pretty easily if you don't wash it well. So just to show you a couple different examples. So here's a beautiful gray, and you can see it has it has waves, has big chunky waves in it, and this is pretty long. So mohair comes from Angora goats. You generally shear them twice a year. So this is 6 months of a shear. I mean, they can easily put out 6 inches. So that's one. And I should say there are, just like there are with sheep, there's kind of different levels. So kid mohair is their first year, the best mohair they're gonna put out there. Yearling is when they get to a year and you shear. So it's after their first, I would say 2 shearings, then their yearling shear, and then they have adult. So it's kind of the same with sheep. You get your best fleeces off when they're young, and then they start to age a little bit. But, so most of the mohair I use in my sock yarn is yearling. So I don't need that super extra soft stuff that would be in kid. So it gives me a little bit of flexibility. So here's a big old beautiful chunk of white, and you can see these just beautiful ringlets on there. It's just stunning. Here's another white, because it's not all, sometimes it's not quite so like you can see those individual locks. Sometimes it's just like a cloudy fluff. Oh my gosh, when I opened the bag, I just opened a box of fresh delivery because I wanted to show you guys. So here is something with a much tighter little, you can see those little waves are super tight in there. And it's just, you know, the animal. And obviously breeders are breeding for different things. This breeder was breeding a particular so that she wouldn't lose the softness as the animals age. And here's another. So this is more of like a cloudy of the gray versus really where you get that fine stapling. Now this is all washed already. It's been washed, and she even picked some of it, which picking, we just mean open. So goats are notorious for getting into all sorts of stuff. So there may be higher VM in goat fiber than usual. The nice thing is, because it's a more slick fiber, a lot of times when you process mohair, a lot of vegetable matter will drop out. Now, I'm not saying you want something that's completely full of vegetable matter, but the chances of it dropping out in mohair versus the chances of it dropping out in like a merino, night and day. So anyway, there are some lovely, lovely examples, and you can see how that just has that shine to it. Oh my. Okay. There's your mohair. There's your wool talk for you. So I think we can go on to what's going on at the mill. I'll be back in just a minute. Okay, you guys, what's going on at the mill? Oh my gosh, so much is going on at the mill. So, first off, today is the official day that Making Stories magazine, issue 7, is out, and I'm gonna show it to you because I don't think I've actually showed you. Okay, they call this a magazine. I would call it a book. So if you look it up and you're like, ooh, the price is kind of more than I wanted to spend, but it's not just like it is a book. And it's beautifully done. I mean, like, it's on nice paper. It's just beautifully done. There are some really awesome patterns in here. And like this sweater, this sweater is calling to me. I love it. There are some beautiful shawls in here. I know that everyone that looked at it, let me see if I can find this shawl. Everybody that looked at it was falling in love with this shawl. Anyway, it's stunning. And of course, our yarn is in it, yay! So Tiffany Chen is the designer. I have the socks here because we saw them last week, but I thought I'd just pop them up to you again. There they are. And it was a really wonderful experience to work with the magazine, and I'm so glad I had the opportunity, and our yarn is in print. How exciting is that? So that was pretty big. Okay. And you can get a digital copy too. I looked it up. You can get paper and digital, or you can just get digital. So if you're not a paper person anymore, that's a great way to go. And you get it right away, right? I guess you get it right away either. So, Yarn Club. I almost forgot. Yarn Club was in between. So here is, speaking of Prineville, here was Yarn Club's yarn. So they got, well, depending on where they were at, they got this. And a sock pattern that came along with it. This is the darkest color I've done, and there are a few of these skeins up. There's a couple in the 400 yard to do kits with, and then there's a couple that are 225, I believe. So I have a big skein that, you guys, I had some serious bobbin issues when I was spinning over the last couple of weeks. One, I don't know what happened, but at some point it just, so the yarn kept spinning, but it wasn't all on the bobbin correctly, and so a lot of the yarn was hitting the side wall of the spinner, which just, especially with the mohair, caused it to, so there's all these little, so anyway, that's mine. So I'm going to cast on a new pair of socks because I'm a sock knitter now. Join me. I can't remember the name of the pattern. I'll put it down here below. I was just gonna do something super easy. One of the tin can knits, it's like their beginning sock knitting pattern, and it just looked fun, and I thought, hey, why not? Maybe somebody else out there who is trepidatious about becoming a sock knitter will want to join in as they see me do it. So I'll put the name of the pattern here. So anyway, That's the newest Prineville, and there is a little bit up of that online. I've also been working on, so I've been working on Prineville yarn like crazy. I actually have to go east in the next week or two to buy more Border Leicester wool, which is the wool that we use for that yarn. So I'll be making a wool buy here pretty soon. It's springtime, so it's wool buy time like crazy. Actually, I just bought the wool for probably April Fiber Club. So we have a monthly Fiber Club subscription. I just bought the wool. It was like almost as far east as you can go in Oregon, true Eastern Oregon. I could not get out that far, but I knew that the wool I was buying was good and the farm was great to work with. So they're actually shipping it all to me. I'm very excited because it is not a wool I've worked with before, and it's not one that you see a ton of. So monthly Fiber Club subscribers, get excited. I'm pretty excited about it. Okay, so I've also been working on Halsey because I told you guys I was going to, and I'm gonna have to take this off so you can actually see, but I told you I have like fiber just stuck in my armpits. Classic. The shawlette pattern. So it's called Wendy's Favorite Shawlette, unless I forget the name that we named it. Wendy's Favorite Shawlette by Wendy Sullivan. It is up on Ravelry, available for purchase now. It is in our Halsey yarn, which is Romney wool, alpaca, and silk. Voila! So you guys, this is not a hard pattern. It is beautifully edited and diagrammed. And it is one skein, one 220 yard skein, almost to the T of our Halsey yarn. And our Halsey yarn, for the most part, is 220. If you have an old skein at home, you may only have 200. But look at this. It's so fun. It's the perfect size. You can tie it. You can do whatever you want with it. So I wore it all the time. This color is mustard. And I'm gonna dye some more of it up. I'm actually getting ready to do a big white batch, so I'll be dyeing more of this up. I also have some new colors that are available now. So one of them, if you've been watching, I did a Oregon State Fair Champion Romney fleece I processed out recently. This is the natural in it. Holy good Lord. And hand spinners, don't you worry. I've got it. So this is on the site, I think in the yarn and in the fiber, I have it mentioned that it's like Oregon State Fair or State Fair wool or whatever. So, woo! So this is the Halsey for hand spinners. This is the Halsey, which it would be beautiful in the shawlette. I'll put it on so you can keep staring at it. And then when you look on the pattern, Wendy originally did hers in this blue. So this is, I have this called Abundant because the dye I use is Abundant Earth Fibers dye. So, and this is actually dyed, so it's over dyed on this. So I took the blue and I dyed these skeins up to get this stunning color. And then the last new color is this green, which I just love, love, love. And Maggie, who is working on a new pattern, is using this green for the pattern she's working on. So I came up with a color that I thought would look nice in the hat. But all of these are online in our Halsey yarn. They look pretty awesome together too, now that I hold them up for you that way. So, shawlette pattern is out. Look it up. One skein of Halsey yarn. It's a fun knit. It's an easy knit, and it's one skein. So yay, thank you, Wendy. It was so fun to do, and hopefully we'll be doing some more patterns together. Hi guys, I'm back in a different outfit, cutting in because I completely forgot to do the giveaway when I filmed yesterday. So I'm back and giveaway time. So I listened to this podcast, as I've talked about, I listened to a million, and one of the things she always asks at the end of the people she's interviewing is name 3 people you would love to have a meal with, dead or alive, go. And it's a business podcast. So most people say something along the lines of Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos. No comment from me. So I thought I'd put it out there for you guys. So I'd say 1, 2, or 3. Top it at 3 people. or you can just comment about anything in the world that you want to comment about by end of day Tuesday, and let me know who you would want to sit and have a meal with. And I'll tell you mine at this moment, and it can change all the time, but I think Oprah, Lizzo, Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Those are my 3 at this moment. I think it would be mind-blowing, right? So anyone. And in addition, the giveaway item will be a copy of Wendy's favorite shawlette pattern that Wendy Sullivan herself is throwing into the mix. So thank you, Wendy. And a skein of Halsey yarn, so you can knit that right up or do whatever you want with it. But that's what it is. So thank you, Wendy, and get those comments in by end of day Tuesday. All right, back to the show. Together. Okay, one last thing to show you. Oh gosh, I actually have to go grab the wool. Okay, I know no time passed for you, but thanks for holding on. Okay, so quickly, I want to show you some other Halsey that I just put up in fiber form. No yarn of this. You guys, I've spun a tiny bit here, but I stole 4 ounces to take home and spin, because this is, I think I called it Marine Dreams in the Halsey fiber section of the website. Oh my gosh. But what's so funny is that I think when everyone looks at it, they see such a different color. So I'm gonna put the pictures up here, but this is the wool that I dyed it with, or this is the wool that I dyed. So I'd say 80%, 75 to 80% of the wool in that is this color-ish, in these tones kind of. About 25% is this, woo! And I did this at the end because I just wanted to blend it a little bit. Then there is, and I'm gonna show pictures so you can see, a little bit of white alpaca. I mean like 10% white alpaca. There's about 10% of a more fawny red-brown alpaca and a little bit of white silk. And this is how it came out. And I talk about it in the video because you'll see videos coming up here in a minute. But it's funny because when you see the pictures and the videos, the colors that pop are so different. Then it just was so interesting. Somebody came in, a friend came in, and she said, no, you just posted a picture. It has white in it. Yep, that's it. It's just how much it blended out. And the reason you have to be careful when you're blending fibers, because it's really easy to throw too many things together and it becomes mud by the time you spin it. So usually my Halsey fiber I would take through the draw frame after I carded it, but I didn't want this to get any more muddied out because I love that it has the browns and the different shades in it, and I wanted it to spin up that way. So I just left it like this. It is so nice to spin, as all the Halsey wool is. And anyway, there you go. You guys, I think we covered it. Whoo! Okay guys, I think that's it. So we'll go and we'll watch some mail videos, and then we'll come back and I'll just say my fond farewells. Okay, see you in a minute. Okay guys, so we're here. I'm gonna scroll down here if I can. So there is some Romney that I dyed in the wool, alpaca and silk, and I'm gonna put you back up. Hopefully we'll be able to have the vocal on this, but I'm just gonna do a little blending for you, and please excuse my outfit. It's like sort of cold, but not really, but it's always a little bit colder in my building, so I'm wearing some weird layers right now, but I thought that you would, and I'm just doing this for my hand spinners. So hand spinners galore. It's really exciting. And I'm just kind of mixing some different alpaca. And I'm gonna have to open this a little bit more than usual because I dyed it and it tends to compact it a bit. So I'll try to help it along through the picker. The picker obviously does this, but when it's really compacted, it enjoys a little extra help from me. So I'm just gonna go along and we'll get her started. And I need to go check on my yarn too, but we'll see what it looks like coming out. It's gonna be a pretty fun roving. I'll open it up in just a second. Okay, so I just finished out that pound-ish of fiber. See it flying all over. And you can see how it looks now post, and it actually did pretty good. So that's post picking. And now what I'll do is condition it and let it sit, and tomorrow I'll come in and just card it up, and there will be some lovely, lovely dyed-in-the-wool fiber for you hand spinners. See you in a minute. Okay, so here we are with some fun, super fun Halsey. If you like colors, this is it. So this is, I dyed it in the wool, kind of greens and blues, mostly green. So it's funny how much blue is popping, because it's not very much blue, but the blue really is popping out. There's a little bit of fawn alpaca you can see here, white alpaca, and then I think I used the natural colored silk, which is a little very light tan kind of beige color. So we're gonna start it up and I'll let you see it coming out the other end. Okay, so here we are. You can kind of see in there that I've got it bundled up. I'm gonna hit the button and then switch hands really quick so you can see it coming out. There you go. That is going to be super fun. Go in a little bit on it so you can see. And I should say that one of the ways that this isn't muddying, it's really easy to get mud when you blend colors. And by that I mean the colors just kind of neutralize out, sort of, into mud. And there is some brown in here, you can see, but I didn't add a lot of it. Most of the colors are the bright colors. So, all right, enjoy. And that's showing up a little more blue, just so you guys know. It's actually a little more greeny teal, but okay. See you in a minute. Okay, guys, so we are doing a batch of Halsey right now, and this is that state champion fleece from the Oregon State Fair, is Romney, blended with some really stunning light alpaca. You can kind of see that light right there, and a little bit of silk. So our Halsey blend, and it's carding up beautifully as it always does. I'll scan over and you can kind of see. This is some of it going into the carder here, picked out, and then we'll walk over and she's humming away. Let you see how it looks coming out. Carding up beautifully as Halsey always does. And this is, I think, the third one, so I'll run about 6 of these bins. It's just going to be a small batch, and there will be, so this is going to yarn, but I've got another pound or so that I'm going to run into roving. So there'll be some of this, and it is a pretty epic fleece. So, all right, onward in the mill. Okay, I hope those were kind of some extra fun videos. I hope that you enjoyed that. And thank you so much for watching. Until I see you next time, I'm gonna go have a birthday and turn 1 year older. So hurrah for me. And I hope you all are doing well. Stay healthy out there. Be kind to your neighbor. And until next time, make lots of pretty things. See you soon.